Hey guys, Greg Spiro here, aka Weekly Piano. I've been getting a lot of requests from people to do a tutorial on my reharmonization of the Justin Bieber song Love Yourself, which turned into the Halsey rendition entitled Fuck Yourself, which we performed live on Australian radio and has gotten a ton of views online since we performed it in 2016. I toured with Halsey from the beginning of 2015, which was essentially the start of her career when she got signed to Capitol Records, until the beginning of 2018. So during that time, we had a lot of instances like this, and me being the stubborn musician that I am, I always tried to fit in really interesting harmonies. They can tell you all about that, I'm sure. But whenever we would do live performances, I wanted to do something cool with it. So in this particular scenario, I was able to fit in some really cool little twists and turns. So I'm going to go over those now. The beginning of the song, it starts with just I took these compings directly from Justin Bieber from his guitar compings, and it's very simple. It's just right. So 1, 5 over the 3 of the 5 to the minor 6 with the 9 in there. It's 2, if you want to call it that. Then to the second part of it, which is just the 2. You can sometimes put the 9 in there, but it doesn't matter. To the 1, to the 5 over the 3 of the 5, right? So for her singing, and I can't play you this because I can't play you the actual recording, but you can look up Halsey Fuck Yourself on on YouTube, and it'll come up with me right there, and Nate Lotz. Oh, I miss Nate. Anyway, so let's see where we at. The verse is da, 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 and the groove is very, very important. It's like all there is in pop music. So that's that. You repeat that for the entire verse, and then the chorus is da da dum da right? So that is just 1, 5 over the 3 to minor 6 to 5 to 4, concentrate. 1, 5 over 3, minor 6 to 4, then 1 to 5 sus, which is you play the 4 triad over the 5 bass to the 1, and then again, if you're playing it up here, you can do like that for the 5 triad, and then the 4, and for the 5th of the 5, and then the 4 triad above it, and then you go back to 1 from there. And so when she's singing, it's like da 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 da. You can go fuck yourself. Now here's what I did interesting. This is probably the thing you guys actually want this tutorial for. When you continue, the first little tidbit I put in there was da 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 da. So to do this, you have to make sure when you're reharmonizing things like this, make sure that the melody fits over the chords that you're putting in, and then the next melody note is, and so you can change the bass line to reharmonize to be basically a 2-5-1 to the 6, right? So you just now the 7 becomes a minor chord based on the 7th scale degree to then what will be the 5 of the minor 6 to the minor 6, right? So da 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 da, and then you continue that. You can sort of chromatically play in the bass to go down da da. So now it's an augmented chord based on the flat 6. Da. So da 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 da. So then when you get to the 5, you make that a minor. Now you're doing it. These are just descending 2 5 1s. Now it's a 2 5 1 to the 4. So minor 5 to the 1 dominant to the. Make sure you get the melody note in there to support the vocalist. So 1 3 5 7 da 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 da. Right. 4 to the 1 over the 3 to the 2 5 sus 1, and then back to the 5 sus. So the way that sounds in practice is. Make sure you get the. I had one wrong note in there, but you probably caught it. And make sure you get the descending tenths in, because that's also very prominent in gospel music, and gospel is the predecessor to all of modern pop music. It's which is actually just Western harmony taken from Bach in the first place, but you hear it a lot in gospel, right? So make sure you get those. The sort of counterpoint in those, not actually counterpoint at that point. Okay, now that repeats itself. Now the most interesting part of this whole thing comes in at the very end, and this is the thing people call the Greg chord, right? This is kind of hilarious how this is. But for jazz artists and instrumentalists who have seen this recording, all it is, it's very simple. It's just when the melody is going up to the 3 of the 1, and it's supposed to start on a 1, you can actually drop the bass by a half step and start on the 7. Okay, so start on the natural 7 and make it a sus chord. Woo! That sound, you know? So instead, it would normally be like, but to deceive that tendency, you go, right? And make it like a really, put in all the notes, so the 5, 7, 2, and 4, right? And then you're essentially doing a 2 5 1 now to the minor 6. And so now this is your 5 of the minor 6, which is the same as a dominant chord with a flat 9 based over the 3 to this minor 6, descend to an augmented flat 6. I'm sorry, then that's a minor chord, right? Yeah, because we're going all the way to the 4 with another 2 5 1. So minor 5 to dominant 1 to 4, and then the same thing that I showed you before. Let me make sure those compings are right. So that, and if you really want to mess with it, you can put that. I didn't put that in the thing. I probably should have. The F natural when you're going to the G augmented. And then you have your minor 5, right? And then you can do the same thing in C. I think I go up a half step. I don't think I even did that. That's actually, oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting into it and changing the chords again, but it's a, then make sure you're doing that. That's actually very important on the if you're doing the verse, don't end on the 2. You want to actually end on the 5 over the 3 of the 5, because that's one of the things that makes it so great at the beginning. It's a great song. I mean, Bieber is, yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about Bieber. Surprisingly, right? So, I mean, that pretty much tells you all of it. Let me know if you have any questions. Look in the comments below. If you have upvote questions, I'll focus on those the most. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope this was helpful. I'll show you. So if you're doing the verse in C, also just very last. Then that's the right one. Just keep repeating that. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you on one of these live streams or something. Bye.